Vinci, basically who we just went over him, Leonardo da Vinci used the Borgia family as models, and Michelangelo was hired to paint these Renaissance images throughout Europe. So Michelangelo, man, and Leonardo da Vinci, they had their hand in this iconoclasm. They had their hand, basically, they had their hands in whitewashing the biblical black images that our forefathers left behind when we ruled during the Dark Ages. Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, man, they had their hand in this. They had their hand in this, dealing with the Renaissance period. They are the ones that painted all these false-ass images of the Israelites. They went over the original Israelites, which were different shades of brown, and they whitewashed them. They changed the Israelites' countenance, which you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They changed your countenance and to European images, man. The white Jesus, the white Abraham, you know what I'm saying? White angels, white Isaac, white Joseph, white Mary, King Solomon. They made him white. Because when you read Song of Songs, Solomon tells you that he's black, man. But they made him white. They made Moses white. Now we know about Moses because of the miracle that when he stuck his hand in his cloak. And Moses told him to withdraw his hand from his cloak. And his hand was leprous, as white as snow. So if Moses was a white man, his hand shouldn't even be leprous, white as snow. That wouldn't be too much of a miracle. So that proves Moses was a black man because of the miracle, man. When he stuck his hand in his cloak and he pulled it out, his hand was leprous, as white as snow. In order for his hand to be white, he had to be black. He had to be a black man. And Moses was a Levite, basically, which is the modern day Haitians today. So that would make him Haitian. King Solomon was from the tribe of Judah, which is the modern day Negro. So that would make him Negro, okay? And these images, so forth, man. This is supposed to be Jacob right here. This is supposed to be Jacob. Jacob is our forefather. Jacob didn't have a case of leprosy. Esau, pursuing Genesis 25:25, is the one that came out red. It didn't describe Jacob's color in Genesis the 25th chapter because there was nobody on the earth basically white at that time. It only described Esau's color because nobody on the earth was his color at that time. That's why it didn't describe Jacob's color in Genesis 25th chapter. But they got Jacob as a white man here, man. Come on, man. This look at this, man. This bullshit right here, man. But this is what they feed you so-called Negroes and Hispanics. All right? We're going to bring some more scriptures out, man. Okay? All right? This is 2 Corinthians 11:4. For if he that come and preacheth another Jesus, which is Yahushua, for if he that come preaches another Jesus whom we have not preached, or if we receive another spirit which we have not received, or another gospel which we have not accepted, ye might well bear with it. So this is 2 Corinthians 11:4 saying that if he come along and preaches another Jesus, if anybody, any of you, if you come along and preach another Jesus whom we have not preached, because we didn't preach about this devil image right here, man. Where is that? Because the disciples never preached about this false ass image. Alright? They never preached about this, man. Because they preached and they elaborated on the true image of Yahushua. Okay? They preached about this Savior. They preached about this Messiah, man. This Son of God. This is the way, the truth, and the life. They didn't preach about this false countenance, man, or this white man. That's why 2 Corinthians 11:4 said, for if he that come and preacheth another Jesus, because they preaching that this is what these false ministers, these Pharisees and these Sadducees and these scribes, this is what they preaching today. This is what these Christian organizations is pushing. This false ass image right here, man. This is what is the mascot for Christianity and spirituality, period. And this is another Jesus, man. Because you Native Americans, you Hispanics, and you Negroes, which are the lost tribes of Israel, the people on this side, never preached of a Jesus that we see today, such as this false ass image right here, man. For if he come and preaches another Jesus, like these Christian organizations do, whom we have not preached, because we didn't preach about that false countenance of a red-skinned, blue-eyed, blonde-haired man. Or if you receive another spirit, what is that when it says you receive another spirit? If you receive another spirit, what is that? The spirit of Christianity, man. It says, which we have not received. Because we didn't know anything about Christianity before the 1500s. Then it says, of another gospel, which we have not accepted, ye might well bear with him, because the disciples, they didn't accept this, man. They didn't preach about this false image right here. This has dominated you so-called Negroes. This false image have dominated 95% of us as a nation, man. This false image that's claiming to be Christ, who the white man put up on you Negroes. The white man put this on you as slaves to get you to think that he was white, because in order for the slave master to control the Negroes, he had to get you to think that the Savior resembled his pigmentation, man. But he never gave you so-called Negroes this image, because you would have caused the revolution on the slave plantation. You would have rose up against your oppressor. You would have started loving your brothers better and loving your sisters better. This false image is what's got us torn apart, because we think that Christianity resembles white folks. And the Bible basically is not a white man's book at all. It's the book of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Alright? But the white man sets his images up in the Bible to get you black folks to believe that the Bible is his book, man. But this devil is going into slavery when Christ returns, man. He's going into slavery. That's why in Romans 9:13, we're going to show you pursuing Romans 9:13. Let's get Romans 9:13. This is the book of Romans that Paul the Apostle wrote, which is chapter 9, verse 13. Romans 9:13. It reads, it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now who is Jacob? Jacob is you modern day Negroes, Hispanics, and Latinos, because you are the descendants of Jacob. You are from the bloodline of Jacob. Jacob is your forefather, okay? So you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the children of Jacob, which is known as the Israelites. Okay? You are the modern day Israelites. You are the chosen people according to this Bible. You are God's chosen people.